Hi there, thanks for tuning in. Yes, I bought the RD-8 by Behringer and it's a great machine. If you're watching this video, then you know what this is, and I want to talk about the very first three problems and how to solve them. The first three problems I ran into trying to use this machine, because it does not come with a manual at all. It comes with a little quick what is this here? Quick start guide, but actually this only tells you what's also printed on the panel already, like what all the different knobs are called, and all the very obvious self-explanatory stuff is listed in the quick guide manual, but the real problems are not really addressed. So that's good, because YouTubers like me can make a little video manual for this thing and answer your questions that you will have when you also buy this machine. The very first thing I'd like to talk about is the output section. The RD-8 is a mono machine and it has two mono outputs. One that's labeled mono, the other one is labeled phones. So once you've unpacked your RD-8 and maybe it's a bit late and you don't want to disturb anybody living next to you or something, you want to use your headphones for the RD first, you are probably going to plug your headphones into the phone's output. But that is a bit problematic because then you might try out the effects, the wave designer and the analog filter, and then you don't hear anything from this section, from the effects section. And that happened to me, and I think it's because the effects are really hardwired to the mono output, just like in the TR-8. The reverb and delay and also the scatter effect are hardwired to the main outs, and you cannot use them for the assignable outs, which maybe, some of you might have expected as well if you have experience with that machine as well. So don't worry, you can use your headphones on the mono output, and that's also, you will get the signal on the left and right side equally loud, no problem, and you will also hear the effects there, but not on the phone's output. That's a dry output that doesn't use the effects. That's the first thing I think that you need to know. Next problem I ran into when using the machine was I programmed in two different patterns. One using 30 seconds note scale. By the way, you switch scales by pressing the settings knob, and then you can see here with the last few step keys here, where it says 8th notes, 8th triplets notes, 16th notes, 16th triplets, and 30 seconds notes. That's how you select your different scales. And I'm a drum and bass guy. I like drum and bass, and very often I use the 30 seconds notes for that. And then I made another pattern using the 16th scale here. And then switching patterns, I found that only the scale that I had last used was also again affecting the other pattern. So the scale setting wasn't stored in the individual pattern. And that's because if you run into the same problems, you need to change your preference settings here with the preferences function. So when you have settings activated, you can then press step key number 5 and you access all the different preferences settings. You just need to read through. For changing pages here, you need to press the tap and hold button, and then that'll switch to the next assignment that you can make. Poly preference, I don't know, it's global. I think it's a good idea to change all of these settings to pattern, because the default setting is global for many of these things. For the scales it was global, And by the way, scales, it looks like this. This is, I think this is the setting. It always says preference in the end, but this was set to global. And then only the currently selected scale will be used for all the patterns you want to write, which I don't think is useful. I would always set at least this setting to pattern. And also, I don't even know auto advanced preference. I don't really know what this is. This can only be switched between song and global. So pattern is not even an option here. I don't really know what this does. I'm going to leave it on global. Yeah, there are still so many things that I have to find out for myself here. But only if you have also run into the same problem, you've programmed different patterns and now it doesn't keep the scale that you've selected. This can be changed, setting this preferences assignment in this one here. I'm trying to decipher what this means. Step, then there's something like a 2 and then something like a, I think it's supposed to say signature, something short for signature or so, time signature probably. If you set this to pattern, then you can store your time signature setting in your pattern. Okay. Then also what is a bit confusing when writing your first pattern is how to set the length of a pattern. The default setting is always 16 steps, which is 1/4 measure. So that kind of makes sense because that's probably the setting that you would use most of the time. But okay, I'm going to write a pattern to demonstrate this really quick here. I have pattern 11 selected. I'm going to erase that. Okay, so erase works like you just saw. You have to be on the pattern page and press erase. Then you can confirm that you want to erase a pattern by pressing the pattern knob again. And then the one that's illuminated white and blinking, that's always the one that you have currently selected. And then you can confirm, yes, that's the one I want to erase, and then press erase again. And now everything should be gone. Okay, so like I said, for writing a pattern, you have to be in step mode, by the way. So the very first thing you do is you press the step key. And then for placing steps, you always need to have the record button activated so that it lights up. Because you can set steps even if when it's not lit, but then these steps will be gone when the pattern cycles through. Wait. Now it's actually keeping them. That's something I don't understand because they were always gone before. Maybe when it's the very first thing you do, then it actually keeps them. But now, okay, now it's bringing them back. I can erase them now, but they will come back when it cycles through because I don't have the record button activated anymore. That's what I meant before, what I was saying. Okay, I have 16 steps set here. I can make this shorter, or maybe first I should program a couple more steps, maybe with other instruments. And I don't want to go for a 4/4 groove. I'm going to go for a drum and bass groove here, maybe raising the tempo a little bit. Okay. Hope this is loud enough. Maybe I could also program in some accents. Or like this. I don't know. Okay, and now maybe I want to add on to this and make it a longer pattern using more than 16 steps. I can do this by pressing the length button here so that it lights up. and now use this kind of this double arrow button. And now for the next number of steps, 17 to 32, I find that now all these step keys start blinking red. And so if I want to make a full bar, 2 full bars, I would confirm the last step in the pattern by pressing step key number 16 again, so that I now have a pattern length of 32. Get out of this length mode again, and now I can start programming the second part of the pattern. I have Autoscroll activated, by the way, and this is a bit confusing because when the pattern cycles through and I want to program just the second part of this pattern, when Autoscroll is selected, I have to wait until the indicator light, or the light that runs through, has reached the beginning of the second part every time. So if I miss placing a step in time and it has already cycled through and gone back to the first page, then I would accidentally place a step on the first page where I don't even want it. So it is a good idea to turn Autoscroll off in this case, select only the part that I wish to program, and now place my steps, maybe like I did before, like this. Okay, I think this is the same now with the accents. Okay, and now I have my 2-bar loop. Or maybe I'm going to make some changes here that you can hear that these are actually 2 different. Okay, like that. And I can dial, as I already said, I can shorten the length to anything I want. I can even make a 1-step pattern if I wish, which doesn't really make sense, but it's possible. Or maybe 3 steps or 7 steps, whatever, 11. Okay, but if I want to go back to 32, I then have to go to the next page and confirm the last step, like this. And now Autoscroll is off. I can no longer see this indicator light running through all the time, but I'm on the first page now, the first 16 steps, and if Autoscroll is off, I don't see this indicator light running over the second part of the pattern, steps 17 to 32. If I activate Autoscroll now this is possible. Now I can see the indicator light, and I can also see the changing notes here for the snare part that are different from the first part. So it always gives me the current selected part of the pattern. I hope you, I hope that was kind of understandable. That's about it for now. I don't want to make this video too long, just talking about the first things that I figured out about this whole device. Maybe I can demonstrate the note repeat and step repeat function real quick. This can also be programmed into the pattern by pressing settings, and then here's your repeat function. So if you want to program repeats, you would have to confirm this. Then you select, first of all, you activate the setting, and then you select the kind of repeat that you wish to program in. Maybe for the snare, step key number 7 for the snare, why not? Maybe. Let's see how this sounds. Let's see if it has worked. Okay, I have to get out of this mode before. Oh no, there wasn't even anything assigned on. There you heard it. There you heard it. I'm going to play this again. No, I have to set the step again. Ah, but I didn't record it, so once again, is this one. Yeah, this is not confusing at all. This is just okay, so let's see if I can do another one. Now I'm going to do the whole procedure again. I'm going to turn Autoscroll off because this was confusing me now. Okay, let's do this once again. Settings, let's activate settings. Or do I have to, wait, maybe I should be in record mode for this. I'm not sure, but it makes more sense. So, okay, settings, repeat function, select the next step. Again, activate. Don't forget to activate this function by pressing the node repeat button also. Then, okay, exit this mode again. Also again, exit settings mode. Now let's see how it sounds. Yeah, it seems to have, yeah, it's on both. I got the repeat on both steps now. Maybe I want to change the second one to a faster value now. So let's do that. Settings, repeat. Again, I want to select this faster repeat. Now settings. Okay, exit the settings mode. Now let's see how it sounds. Yeah. Great, it worked. It doesn't do a number of steps at a time though. You have to do it like one by one. You have to make one step and then add on to that, doing the whole procedure all over again, I think. But you can see that when you're in this repeat mode, only one step at a time is shown. You cannot select a number of steps at the same time. Maybe I can. And now I don't even have a snare drum programmed on step 9, I think. Again, I have to activate this. Let's see if I can have a repeat effect on that step, even if I hadn't even placed this step on the same spot before. Let's see. Yeah, and even this is working. Okay, rather extreme form of a repeat here. Sorry. Yeah, but okay. I think I better stop now because I don't want to bore you and make this video too long. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.